Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to explain the steps that you need to do for days 13 and 14 for VID. So this is Thursday, April 2nd and Friday, April 3rd. I can't believe we're in April already, guys. So we're going to talk about code.org lesson 10 today. And we left off yesterday with this page right here, which you use to complete your lesson 10 part 1 notes. So if you didn't turn in your lesson 10 part 1 notes yet, make sure you submit those through Canvas. So that page will help you complete the notes. So I'm going to press continue here, and we are on the lesson about changing text size in our page. So we're on this odd world records page, and last thing we did on here is we changed the color of our heading to a different color, any color you want, and we added a rule for the H3 tag, and we changed the color of that. So we learned how to change color with the color property. And of course, all the colors, if you go back a couple levels, all the colors are located on a link in here, and you can also Google it too, like HTML colors, and all the HTML colors will pop up. So anyways, on this particular level, we want to be on our style.css sheet, and we want to add a rule to make the paragraphs bigger. Actually, I think we already have a rule for that. And then we want to add a new rule for this H3 tag, this most M&Ms eaten blindfolded, to make that either bigger or smaller. So let's first test it out on this paragraph. Right now, the default rule in there is that our font size is 14 pixels. And that's about what it looks like. These are our paragraphs. So I'm just going to change it in here. I'm going to up it to 18 pixels. So we can see the changes over here. Now it's a little bit bigger. So to change the size of our text, we use the font size property. Not to be confused with text size, which actually isn't a thing at all. We always want to use font size. So 18 pixels is what I changed mine to, but you guys can experiment with yours. And then the directions up here say to add a new rule to your rule set for your H3 tag to make that bigger or smaller. So I'm going to go do that here. I already have a rule for my H3 selector to change the color to Dodger blue. So now I'm just going to add one for font size. And I'm going to make this, since my paragraph is 18 pixels, I'm going to make this 20 pixels. So you can see that that makes it just a little bit larger than it already was. And it goes on to 2 lines now, which is okay because actually it's not on 2 lines. It's just condensed in the code.org view. So what I just did there is added a font size rule to the H3 selector there. And remember, this entire thing is called a rule set. All right, so I'm going to press finish. And now I'm on level 8. And level 8 deals with actually changing the font family. And we have this boring serif font here. By the way, guys, what is the difference between a serif font and a sans serif font? Let me pull up an image for you. This is a good one. So a serif font has these little lines at the end of it, and it makes it look a little bit more formal, a little bit fancier. But a sans serif font is just a lot more clean cut. It doesn't have those little lines at the end of it. So this is important to know for HTML because serif and sans serif are 2 of our font families. So going back here to our style.css page, we want to change the font family of our text here to a different family. As we can see, our paragraph is already on cursive. So you can kind of see how that's supposed to look. So let's change it for our H1 tag and make this look different. And we can experiment with different ones. So I'm going to type in font family. And as you can see here, there are options. I don't know why mine's getting cut off, but they're also listed up here. So you can try sans serif. And don't forget your semicolon at the end. So you can see that now this becomes a little boxier, a little cleaner. And another one you can try is cursive, which you already saw what that looked like, but I'll show you right here. So that's a little bit fancier. And then there's also one called Fantasy, which looks like this. And then there's also one called Monospace, which looks like that. Kind of like very code looking. Code.org doesn't tell you this, but you can also type in font names of, familiar font styles like Arial, and it'll give you that sans serif font. Calibri. Can I spell that? Yes. And what's another one? Lucida. Handwriting. Nope, that one didn't work. But you can look up, fonts on Google and test if they work. For now, I'm going to just go with sans serif. All right, so that is how to change the font style. And I'm also going to change it for this one down here so it doesn't look weird to have a sans serif font and a serif font together. Typically, you just stick with one or the other. All right, so I'm going to press finish and move on to level 9. By the way, if you guys need to, stop and start this video accordingly so you guys can, update your code.org page, that would be the recommended way I would say that you can use this video. All right, so underlining, this is really easy, guys. So if you click back on style.css, you can see that there is a text decoration on our H1 heading. So text decoration, we only have 3 options: underline, overline, and line through. So let's take a look at what overline looks like. So I'm going to take out that underline right here and look at overline. Okay, so that's just a slightly different look. That can create some separation for your page. Line through looks like that, which is kind of pointless to have on a page if you ask me, unless you're trying to cross something out. So I'm going to stick with underline here, and then I'm going to add a text decoration rule from my H3 rule set by just coming down here and typing text decoration. And then I'm going to choose overline. So that's what that looks like here. I actually don't like that, so I'm going to take that out. So as long as you, just experiment with it on this level, you're good. I'm going to press finish. And then this is the last code.org level that we are going to focus on this week. Is it? Yes. So this one just deals with text alignment. And most of my students use a text alignment property on their web pages when they're, designing their final web pages. By the way, guys, that is the goal. At the end of each of these lessons, you are going to apply these text properties to your own website. So we'll do that next week. But for now, let's click on style.css, and we are going to find a text align property. All right. So for the paragraph tag here, we have something that says text align left. So what that basically means is all the text is going to be lined up on the left side of the page. But we also have options to do right and center. Typically, we don't want to, right align our paragraphs. Sometimes we would want to put them in the center, but not usually. Let's try adding a center text alignment rule to our H1. So I'm just going to go under here underneath my font family rule, and I'm going to type text align. colon, and I'm going to choose center here and add my semicolon at the end. So this just moves the text into the center. So when you get to your website, you may want to do this with the title of your page. So just a suggestion. All right. So press finish when you're done with that. That was pretty short and sweet. And it brings you to this page here on text properties. Stay on this level because I will assign the notes for Monday to complete on lesson 10 part 2. And for today, just make sure that you fill out this VID journal. Like I said, this is how I know exactly how you're progressing through the code.org level since I'm not there with you. And make sure you have at least one thing written for each day, even if it's just a couple words to let me know, that you finished it, that you struggled with it, whatever. This part is optional, but if there is anything you want me to look at on your pages, I can help you with that. Just put it here and I'll see that, and I'll go look at your page on code.org. I can see all of your pages. So make sure you turn this journal in on Friday, April 3rd. All right, guys, if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. Sorry, this was a long video, but better to just put it all in one, and we'll do more videos for next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.